Hello and welcome to Chronicles of Tao by Deng Ming Dao, martial arts philosophy, spirituality, mysticism, magic, and more. Travels, adventures, everything's here. Sai Hung's fourth Wudang Shan teacher was the Snake Master, a cold, evil man. He did not want respect or warm regard from others. He wanted only to be feared, and all the other masters avoided him. A tall figure as flat and massive as a tombstone, staying ever in shadow, glaring unwelcomingly with reptilian intensity, and eating only cold food, the Snake Master was a terrifying presence. Out of all his teachers, Sai Hung genuinely feared only him. The Snake Master was brutal during sparring, and when he broke his normal graveyard silence to speak, it was only to deliver a short, cutting remark. Ostensibly, he corrected his students, but in reality he always seized on their weakest personality flaws. And I'm not going to read the entire chapter, but the, the, the paragraphs that I've underlined on my third reading. In order to have piercing strength, said the Snake Master, you must have internal energy that is as pliable as a blade of grass. A blade of grass gives with the wind. Even a hurricane cannot uproot it. It is so soft, yet it can cut your hand. It is this pliable energy you seek. No matter what your opponent hits you with, yield, slither, give way to his attack. Absorb his energy until the fullest extension of his strike, and then at that moment when he is weakest, whip back ferociously. So, the ultimate strategy of the snake system was to attack vital points. Strikes to these spots could cripple, damage internal organs, and even kill. Each day for 100 days, Sai Hung trained with fingertip push-ups and hundreds of strikes to a hard sandbag. The Snake Master insisted that the right effect could be achieved only if the fingers could be inserted into the opponent's body to a 1-inch depth. So, yeah, these guys don't mess about. A snake kills in several ways, said the Master. It bites, it chokes, and it hits vital spots. A snake master catches an animal in its coils, and when the animal struggles, the snake's tail hits the animal's vital spots. Our art is derived from watching this. Pretty sinister stuff going on in the temple today. But this is the Snake Master's lesson, which I shall relate to you nonetheless, as an impartial observer. The strike is not only physical, it is internal. The mind commands the energy into the fingertips as they hit your target. The precision is pinpointed. He struck Sai Hung lightly, and Sai Hung began to grasp desperately for air. The Master let the class watch him struggle for several minutes before he released the effect by massage and a slap on the back. Sounds a bit like Don Juan shifting Carlos's assemblage point with the Nagl's glow. Just like that. This is my system, he said. It is dedicated to complete domination. Oh dear. The great martial ability he acquired, combined with his quick temper, made Sai-Hun pugnacious. But his ever-watchful Taoist teachers constantly reminded him to be humble. At the end of the summer, he and his class left Wudangshan and were making their way back to Huashan when they stopped at a tea house. The priest escorting them summarized this Taoist viewpoint. Learning martial arts means self-assurance, not arrogance. Your confidence should make you the meekest, most humble person on earth. If you are secure in your techniques, nothing anyone can do has any meaning. It is impossible for them to annoy you because you know they cannot harm you. You know you can fight, but you do not exercise that ability. You remain free of violence. Doesn't that sound great, to be free of violence? This incarnation, this lifetime, to be free of killing. Thou shalt not kill, as they say in as God said, the ultimate commandment, thou shalt not kill. The Buddha says, do not kill. So we'll see what so many of us go on killing and taking pleasure in it, watching movies about it and so on, what's it doing to our consciousness? Allowing the media to fill our heads with violence, torture, mayhem and chaos, everything that's the dark side, So let's see what the Grand Master has to say about this. Walking away from a confrontation makes one superior, continued the priest to the class. You have not been taught martial arts to kill, to win glory for yourself, or to exalt religion. Rather, the purpose is self-discipline and self-defense. Anyway, okay, so the Taoist priest said, meeting people who demonstrate their ignorance is not an invitation to fight. Since you can remember your abilities, you can understand their plight. Rather than hate them, you should feel compassion. Whew, wow, that's a tall order. But I think there's a profound lesson in that. If we deeply examine it, we have to sort of get right down to the root of what, any confrontations, dramas like that we've got going on in our life, getting to the root of that. What is their purpose? Not to see oneself as a victim necessarily, but to probe into it, to feel into it. Like, what is this trying to teach us? What is this trying to tell us? What parts of ourselves are we not illuminating? Are we not addressing the shadow? See? And falling into false ideas, religion, not exalting religion, not even Taoism. So this one, the Grand Master challenges Sai-Hun. You remember, this is a 97-year-old man or something. blah blah. And Sai Hung was just 15, but by that time he was a strong fighter. When his martial masters entered him in provincial tournaments, he won his share of the matches. In his wanderings around the countryside, he was a dramatic figure, handsome, lean, and well muscled. So, definitely no pushover then. Blah, 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 blah. It goes on about the competitions that he undergoes. But we'll get cut right to the chase here. It was time for him to return to Huashan after the tournaments. Yet he was reluctant. The pleasures of the world fascinated him. You can understand. He enjoyed the wealth and prestige of his family, beautiful clothes, rich surroundings, and feasts of river fish, goose, and bear paws. Oh. He constantly savoured his victories and began to yearn for the glories of a fighter. By comparison, the frugality of Huashan, its absolute discipline and life of extreme denial, seemed unbearable. But he was committed to return. Sai Hung began his ascent with a sigh. But you do not go deep into fighting. I already know internal martial arts. I can fight, said Sai Hung. But you do not go deep enough into meditation, and the spiritual, after all, is higher than fighting. Perhaps I'm not interested. It's great fun out there. I have in my wanderings been in the Peking Opera, joined the circus, and learned from many boxers. I would never have been able to do this if I had not been a wandering Taoist. Members of a holy order can't learn the most brutal parts of martial arts. I want to learn the ultimate in techniques, and I'll never be able to do that here on this mountain. You think your skill is so great, said the Grand Master casually. Yes, I do. Then, fight me. If you win, I will introduce you to many masters. You will be free to enter the outside martial world. But if you lose, you return to your studies. Agreed. Sai Hung looked at his master, standing on a terrace overlooking a vast view of mountain ranges. He seemed alone at the top of the world. Sai Hung asked himself why he had climbed all that way simply to talk with this recluse, who lived such a spare and severe life. Life seemed better down below, and in spite of years of training, the Grandmaster looked like any other old man. Sai Hung judged his master's weight. Sai Hung knew he outweighed him. I agree, said Sai Hung with a confident smile. All right, returned the Grandmaster. Fight. Sai Hung attacked immediately with strong and sure whirlwind strikes so swift that most men would have fallen simply because of their slower reflexes. The Grandmaster, however, only retreated calmly before Sai Hung's advance. He let Sai Hung try all the boxing techniques gleaned from his many tournament bouts, but not even a single blow touched the Grandmaster's robes. Sai Hung grew angry and, gathering in his full might, charged his master. The Sai Hung gracefully launched himself into a spinning leap over Sai Hung's shoulders. Sai Hung turned and struck out, but a whipping force sped by his face. A moment later, a devastating slap turned his head. It was the Grandmaster's sleeve. His master now took the initiative, and Sai Hung backed frantically away from his spinning arms. Through his blocks, he could see the Grandmaster glaring ferociously at him as sleeve after sleeve came. Before long, his arms had been whipped numb. He dropped his guard. His master struck him with a palm blow and Sai Hung flew across the terrace. Sai Hung lay stunned on the stone pavement. The Grandmaster came over to him. He was kind and smiling again. Helping Sai Hung up, he patted him reassuringly. "You've lost," said the Grandmaster softly. "You lost because you do not have enough concentration. I won because my concentration is complete. Concentration is impossible without meditation." Sai Hung stood up and caught his breath. "I'd still rather be a wandering Taoist. Look at you. Yes, you're a holy man. But what has it gotten you? You're starved. You live in damp rooms on a lonely mountain top. You're a nobody. Are you successful? Do the gods listen to you? Will you go to heaven? How do you know there's even such a thing as heaven?" "You can only see the gods in heaven by mastering this world," replied the Grandmaster patiently. "Then you can see the next world. I admit that if I were to see heaven, I might believe. But how can I go to heaven? Wouldn't I fall out the sky?" "Not the body," laughed the Grandmaster. "Your spirit travels to heaven and returns. That's the way." "Your spirit? Can it come out of you from the body?" "Oh yes. But you must control the senses. When you realize that this world is an illusion, you can control the senses. Master the world and travel on." "The world is an illusion?" "Yes. Nothing is real." "What do you mean nothing is real? Of course this world is real." "It isn't. It's illusion. Once you master your senses and the 5 elements, you will know that too." "I don't believe you. How do I know what mastering the senses and mastering the world mean?" The Grandmaster looked at Sai Hung placidly. "This, Sai Hung, is mastery of the world." He pointed dramatically across the terrace at an unlit stick of incense. It lit immediately. Sandalwood fragrance drifted towards him, and it is also this. He pointed at a heavy brass teapot on a table 6 feet away. It floated up and moved slowly in the air to another table. Sai Hung was dumbfounded. Master the 5 elements, and then you can see the other worlds. But you have to study if you want to achieve this. Contemplate this. Make a decision. Some things must be begun in youth to achieve success later. A tree grows from a seed. I know it's difficult for you to believe. You're young. You haven't seen fruit. That's why I show you. But you cannot always demand complete proof before you begin something. In some ways, you must have blind faith. The gods are supreme. They will let you know. So I think, the Grandmaster is, what can I say? He is like an incredibly advanced being. He's looking for the ultimate, whatever it takes. You know, it's like demands that perfect concentration, that impeccability, that patience. You know, the humility, because we need the humility to endure our ultimate fears, confront our ultimate fears. You know, the saying, the fortune favours the bold. You know, if you're bold and courageous and daring. You know, the great men. Not to confuse that with stupidity. You know, you've got to have clarity, longevity. Grandmaster was an old man, so like he didn't make foolish mistakes when he was a young man. A severe person, an ascetic, you know. Just, you can learn something from that. You know, to become an endurable being, you know, because um, ultimately this is transhumanism. This is about becoming cultivating the soul, the diamond soul, you know, the ultimate, you know, you can't lose we cannot lose sight of the ultimate within ourselves. You know, we have to assume ultimate responsibility, and then that ultimate trust to transcend the human condition.